Hello everyone, I welcome all of you once again to the new chapter, that is ratio and proportion. This chapter is very important. You will find the other applications of this chapter, that is partnership, mixture allegation, speed and time, and work and time. In exam, if you look at the past year papers, you will find there is a good weightage of number of questions which come from this particular topic and dependent topics. Yeah. So ratio proportion, partnership, mixture allegation, speed time distance, and work and time. This is entirely a bunch. So if you understand this concept well, you will be able to understand the other chapters which are dependent on ratio proportion also in better way. So let's get started. What is ratio? I'm sure you must have seen some sign like this, A, B, C. Yeah, A and then colon B, then colon C, right? Now this colon we read like what? Is to, yeah? So A is to B is to C. That's how we read it, right? Is to. Okay. So I will tell you the meaning of that. Let's see. What do we have? So A is to B is the value of with respect to B. Yeah. Value of A with respect to B. Yeah. So suppose if you write 20 is to 30, that means the quantity A is representing, the first quantity is representing 20, the second quantity is representing 30, and the value is A is 20 with respect to B, which is 30. Okay, or vice versa. So you can say B is 30, then A is 20. Now to have two or more quantities in the ratio, we need to make sure that they are in the same units. That means if the first number is in centimeter, the second number should also be in centimeter. Yeah, you can have third number also here 40 in centimeter, right? Okay, so units should be same. If it is kgs, the second should also be in kilogram and third should also be in kgs. So keep in mind, if you want to have the ratio of two or more quantities, make sure that they are into the same ratios. Next is, we can multiply or divide by common number to simplify the quantities. What does it mean? Now suppose if you have A, B, C, these are three quantities which are having values like 20 centimeter, 30 centimeters and 40 centimeters. So if you want to simplify this, you divide or multiply by common number. That means if you are dividing this by 10, let's say 10 2s are, 10 3s are, 10 4s are. So you are dividing all these values by 10 to simplify. Yes. So it cannot happen that you are dividing the first value by 20 and the second value by 10. Yeah. So the division factor should be common. So 10, you are dividing all of them by 10. Okay. Or the multiple factor should also be common. So we will see in which case do we multiply by a number to simplify them and then have them in a ratio. Okay. So I hope this part is clear. Yes. So ratio, A is to B is to C. What is ratio? The comparison, value of first quantity compared to the second one. Yeah, or we can say value of first quantity with respect to the second, or vice versa. The units should be same and you use multiplication or division to simplify the quantities and then you write the final ratio. Now let's take some examples. The first example here is 25 is to 40. 25 is to 40. So now to simplify 25 is to 40, tell me which is the common number can divide 25 and 40, both of them. Is that 2? Can I divide both of them by 2 to simplify? Well, 25 is not divisible by 2, so I will not take 2 here. Which is the other number? Yes, you are absolutely right. We can divide them by 5. So if I divide them by 5, or I can also write like 25 by 40. I usually avoid writing this 20 in division form because but if there are only two numbers, we can represent them in this division form, 25 by 40. If there are three numbers, then how will you do it? So that's why keep this in mind, that you not always need to represent this ratio in form of division. Not necessary, okay. So if you divide by 5, what you get here? 5 5s are, and this is 5 8s are, okay. So the ratio is what? 5:8, okay. So divide by common number. Let's take one more example. 35 and 56, okay. 35 and 56, which is a number can divide 35 and 56, both of them? Is this 7? Is that 7? Yes, okay. So can you say, if you divide this here, what do you get? 7 5s are 35, yeah. 7 5s are 35, and 7 9s are, no, 7 8s are, yes, 7 8s are 56, okay. That is 5:8, right? So 35 is to 56. 35 is to 56. Pay attention here. 35 is to 56. That is giving you a ratio of, that is, they are in ratio of 5:8. And previously we have seen 25 is to 40 is also in ratio of 5:8. So what I am trying to make you understand here, that if there are two unknown values which are in ratio of 5:8, can you say anything about their values? As in, can you say this A is 25 and B is 40, or A is 35 and B is 56? Not necessary, yeah. So you need some more information to get the exact value of A and B. Yes, so please make a note here that if the ratios are given, then you need extra information to get the actual quantity, okay. Or if you have two numbers, A B is showing 5:8 and C D is also showing 5:8, doesn't mean that the A B and C D, A equal to C, B equal to D, not necessary, yeah. So more than two combination can give you same ratio also. That's very important point to understand. If you have ratio, you can't say what is the number. If you have value of quantities, then you can find the ratio, but to find values of quantities, from ratio you need additional information, okay. Keep this in mind. One ratio, or I would say different numbers combination may get you same ratio, okay. Keep this in mind, yeah. So this is a very important lesson to understand, okay. I hope that's clear to you. This is clear to you. Please make note, okay. Next is 25 feet to 30 inches. Can we directly simplify this? And get the ratio 22.5 is to 30? Can we do that? No, we cannot. Why? Because units are not same. So first make units same. So how will you make the units same? You know 1 feet equal to 12 inches, right? So you multiply 2.5 with 12 to get the value in inches. So 2.5 into 12, you will get 30 inches, right? So 2.5 is nothing but 30 inches, and the other quantity is already in inches, that is 30 inches. So if you find the ratio of them, what will you get? 31s are and 31s are. Divide by common. So I divide both of them by 30 and get the ratio as 1:1. Okay, I hope this is clear. Similarly, the next combination is 75 centimeter and 1.2 meters. So 75 centimeter and 1.2 meters. So first of all, we need to make the quantities equal. So tell me, 1 meter equal to how many centimeters? Yes, that is 100 centimeter. So 1.2 meter will get you 120 centimeter, right? So you have 75 centimeter is to 120 centimeter. Now let's simplify this. Can we cancel by 15? Can we divide both by 15? Yes, we can. 15 5s are 75, 15 8s are 120. Do you get this? Again you got 5:8. So different numbers combination may get you same ratios. So that means if you have only ratios, you cannot say what are the numbers. You can't say if 5:8 is the ratio of two quantities. You never know whether they are 25 40 or they are 35 56 or they are 75 120. It may be anything, right? So if you have only ratio, you need extra information to go reverse and get the values. But if you got the values of quantities, you can divide by a common number. You can't divide by different number. Divide by common number to get the ratio. Yeah. So this is division factor. I call it division factor. You can call it something else, but I call it division factor. Well, it will be good if we use the same terminology, so it will be easy for us to communicate, right? So this is common factor. We'll call it common factor. Okay. Yeah. So we divide by common factor. Later we'll see. I will give you example of common multiple also. Okay. So I have one more example for you. That is portion. So let me explain the concept of a ratio with help of this circle. Let's say this is it's a pizza, okay, and there are two friends. Let's say Anu and Balu. They are two friends, and they got pizza. They ordered pizza, and they got pizza having 8 slices. 8 portions. Yeah, 8 portion. Now every portion will have some weight, right? Every portion will have some weight. Yeah. Let's say every portion is having weight of 50 grams. Okay. Now see this. Suppose if Anu got 3 portions, so obviously Balu got how many portions? 5 portions, because total there are 8 portions, correct? So we can also say, can we simplify 3 and 5 further by dividing by any common number? As in, do they have any common factor? No. So that's the ratio they have divided into, 3:5. So 3 portion is for Anu, 5 portion is going to Balu. Yeah, 5 portions are going to Balu. So divided into 3:5. Now if I want to know what is the weight, total weight of portions which Anu has, what is the total weight of portions which Anu has? So what will you do? You will say, okay, there are 3 portions, and you multiply them by what? 50 grams. Because each portion, I said, each portion is 50 gram. So how much will you get? You get 150 gram. Okay. That's the total weight of all the portion which Anu has. What about Balu? What about Balu? How will you calculate? You will do the same, but in case of Balu, you have 5 portions which you multiply by 50 grams. So you will say that is 250 grams of total weight. 250 grams is the total weight of the total portion which Balu has. Okay. So this 50 gram is weight of each portion. Yeah. So this 50 gram will work as common multiple, yeah, to get the value of the quantity. Let me repeat this. Here there is Anu and Balu, they ordered a pizza and they got the pizza in 8 portions. Each portion is having 50 gram weight. Anu got 3 portions, Balu got 5 portions. So what is the total weight of portions which Anu has? So you will say, okay, 3 portion multiply by 50 because each portion is 50 gram weight. Same you will do for Balu also, right? So this time you are multiplying by common number. Multiplying by common number. So this 50, I will call it common multiple. Okay. And here, because we are dividing by 15, I will call it common factor. Okay. So common factor, the common number by which we divide the values to get the ratio, and common multiple, we are multiplying to each part of the ratio to get the actual value. Okay. So I hope this example is clear. This example is clear to you. Now we will see some applications, and by solving questions will strengthen the concept. Okay. So let's solve questions. Let's see question number 1. The first question is, so we'll understand different methods of solving question of ratio proportion. Ratio, right now we are focusing on ratio, and we'll see how these different methods will be used in a different situation to calculate things faster, or I would say for shortcut. Okay, so understand all these 3 methods carefully. So the question is, the ratio of boys and girls in the class is 9:5. Okay, so the ratio of boys is to girls in the class is 9:5. If the total number of students in school, sorry, not in a class, in a school is 9:5, and total number of students in the school is 1050, then the number of boys is how much? That's what we need to find. I hope the question is clear to you. Okay. Now I will solve this question by using portion method. Now there is no name mentioned in the book, portion method. I have named it portion method. You can name something else also, it depends on you. Okay, but it will be, as I said, it will be good if we all use the common term. So portion method, how does this work? So we will take example here what we have discussed, portions, and we'll do in same fashion. So we'll say the total number of students in the school is 1050, that is given. So in the portion method we will say, we'll see what do we need to find and what is given. Okay, and we'll take the ratio of this in portion method this way, right? Or you can also say what we need to find by total of the ratio. We can use this way also. So see, so what do we need to find? We need to find boys, the number of boys, and we'll see with respect to total number of students. Okay, so in the portion method, what do? We say, okay, the number of boys or the ratio for boys is 9. Yeah, so boys is to girls, they are in ratio 9:5. So the boys portion is 9 and the total portion is 9 plus 5, 9 plus 5, 14. So total portion is 14, right? Of the total value given, which is 1050. Okay, so how do we read this? Yeah, stay with me. I know that we are starting this topic, so it's new, different terms, so might be little confusing, but stay with me. I'm sure you will understand. So what are we trying to say here? that the boys are 9 out of 14. The boys portion is 9 out of total portion 14. So we will read this in a way that boys are 9 by 14 of total number of students in the class, in the school. The boys are 9 by 14, okay, of the total number of students in the school. Yeah. So what is the portion of boys? Boys portion is 9 on 14. We can't say only 9. We can't say only 9 because 9:5 is what? Ratio. And ratio is what? Comparison of two or more quantities. So we can say the boys are 9 only when the total portion we count as 14. Yes, the Anu received 3 portions when Balu receives 5, or Balu receives 5 when Anu receives 3 out of 8. Okay, so please try to link with the example. So how do we write this? Boys 9 out of 9 plus 5, 14, or we can also say it's 9 by 14, or we can also say boys are 9 out of 14 in the school, right? So boys portion is what? 9 out of 14 of the total, which is 1050. Okay, if you multiply the ratio with the actual number, the outcome will also be actual number, the actual value, right? So 9 by 14, if you divide this, let's divide by 7, 2, 1, 5, 0 and 2, and here is what? 75. So 9 into 75, if you multiply this, you get 675, right? So number of boys here will be 675. Okay, so this is the portion method where we'll take the fraction, where we'll take what? Fraction of the one we need to find out by total, multiply by total. The one we need to find out by total and multiply by what? Total. Okay, the one we need to find out by total but multiply by the total value. Okay, this is your portion method. Yeah, fraction method, portion method. So fraction is very common, so let's say portion method, unique. Okay, I hope this example is clear. The boys and girls 9:5, total is 1050. We need to find out the number of boys. So we'll take the portion or the ratio part of boys, which is 9, by total, which is 14, and we'll say boys are 9 on 14 and multiply by 1050, which is the total number of students in the school, right? So keep this in mind. Okay, when we practice with different questions, I hope you will understand this concept better. Okay, the next method for the same question, I want to show this next method is assuming variables. So let me take the question here. All right, now same question, I will show you method 2. Learn all these 3 methods because you know they are situational. In one situation, one method will work faster. Okay, so I will explain you in which situation which method will work faster. So that's where you will learn shortcuts in ratio. So next is assuming. So assuming method. So in assuming method, what we do, we say boys is to girls are in ratio 9:5, and now we will assume the number of boys and number of girls. Do you remember common multiple? Common multiple, same example, pizza example. Here common multiple is what? 50. We have multiplied the ratio that this portion by 50 to get the actual value, right? Now giving that reference of the same example, here I don't know what is the common multiple to get the actual value. So let me assume the common multiple is x. Okay, so here I can assume the number of boys as 9x common multiple. So that's why number of girls, I will assume 5x, not 5y, not with different value. It has to be common multiple, because 9 and 5, they are in ratio, they are compare with each other. Okay, so if I assume the first one as 9x, the second one I have to assume as 5x. Okay, this is how we do the assumption thing. Now just calculate the way question says. So question says total number of students. All right, so total number of students would be what? Boys plus girls equal to 1050 as per the question. Substitute these assuming values. So 9x plus 5x equal to 1050, and then we simplify, we say 14x equal to 1050. That's how we get the common multiple here, the CM common multiple here, that is 1050 by 14. Yeah, simplify this. So what you get, if you cancel, you get 75. We did the calculation a while ago. Okay, 75. So this common multiple is 75. Now what do we need to find out? Question said find boys, number of boys. So number of boys, we assumed how much? What did we assume as number of boys? 9x. So number of boys here, 9x will be equal to 9 into 75. That will get you again same value, which is 675. Okay, so answers will remain same. Yeah, I know that this method for this particular question is lengthy, I know that, but you need to learn all these methods so that when I solve using these methods to do the shortcuts, you should be able to understand. Okay, so that is common multiple assuming with the common multiple assuming method. Now same question, let me do the same question here, and this time I am using the chain rule. I am using the chain rule. What is chain rule? You all are aware about chain rule. I'll give you example. Chain rule is say if I say 2 pens costing 7 rupees, then 5 pens cost how much? How do you calculate this? You all have done this in your school time, and that's a very famous method. Yes, so we do cross multiply. You might have called this method to be cross multiplication method, but that's actually a chain rule. I'll give you a reason why I'm calling it chain rule, because in different situation you will have different way of multiplication, cross multiplication or straight multiplication. As of now, just hold on, keep it up to only this. I will discuss chain rule again in detail when we are going to discuss proportion, that is the ratio. Right now we are discussing ratio. In proportion, I will discuss this chain rule in detail. Okay, as of now, yes, cross multiplication. This method itself is called chain rule. Okay, so chain rule multiply. How do you multiply? To find out this question mark, what do? You have 5 into 7 and you divide by 2, and that's how you get this, right? Yeah, so this is the same chain rule. So that's the same chain rule which I'm going to use to solve this question with a new method, that's chain rule. Okay, how do we do it? We say the ratio and we say the actual quantity, right? Given values and what do we need to find? Okay, so what is given here? Given is total number of students 1050 as a quantity. With respect to this quantity, what is the ratio? So total ratio here 9 plus 5, total ratio is what? 14. Okay, what do we need to find out? We need to find boys. What is the portion of boys in this ratio? That's 9, and quantity, that's what we need to find out. Isn't it same? Yes. So if I say given value is total quantity 1050, that's respective ratio is 14. What do we need to find? The boys here, which ratio value is 9, and the actual quantity value we need to find out. Now, as you have always done, just cross multiply. So what do we have here? 9 into 1050 divided by 14, and that's going to get you the same answer. Okay, so answers are same, but you need to understand these all three methods. Chain rule, given, what do we to find out? Assuming, assume with a common multiple. Portion, take that as a fraction. Okay, I hope these three methods are clear to you. If not, please rewind this part of video and then watch it again. And if you're comfortable, even if you're comfortable 50% with these methods, then let's apply them in different questions. And now this time I am not going to solve one question with three methods. I will be telling you which method will work faster here. Look at this. The ratio of two numbers 3:4. The sum is 420. The greater of two number is what? Which will work faster here? Correct, the portion method, because you got the total of both numbers, sum of both numbers. So greater number is 4. The portion of greater number is 4. Out of 3 plus 4, 7. Multiply by total 420. Simplify. Okay. So that's how you got the answer. Okay. How did I know that the portion method will work faster? If you have been given this total of the quantities, that will work faster. Yeah. Usually. Okay. Yeah. Exceptions are always there, but this is what I suggest. Let's see the second question. Question number 2. This says if the income of A, B, C are in ratio 2, 5, 11 and the income of B is rupees. Okay, rupees is missing there. 291 more than of A, then the income of C is what? In this case, in this question, you can use the portion method will not work fast here. Okay, because question said B and A, difference of B and A. B is more, A is less. Difference of income of B and A, that is 291. Difference. In this case, don't use portion method. So either you can use this assuming method or chain rule. Do you want to use chain rule? Yes. Okay. You can use either one of them, but I suggest use chain rule. That will work faster. How do we do that? We say we'll write a ratio here and we'll write the actual quantity here. You don't have to do this in exam. I am just doing it so that you understand, and then you look at what is given to you and then you look at what do you need to find out. So what is given to you? Given to you the actual value is 291. What is 291? The difference of B and A. What is the difference of B and A in the ratio? In the ratio, B is 5, A is 2. Difference of 5 and 2 is what? 3. Okay. So as the ratio, the portion of ratio you will take, so here ABC ratio is what? 2, 5, 11. So portion for A is 2, portion of B is 5, portion of C is 11. Okay. So portion of B and portion of A, if you difference, find the difference. 5 and 2, difference is 3. Correct? That is given value. Yeah. 5 and 2, the difference is 3. 5 and 2, B is 5, A is 2, the ratio difference is 3. So this I will write in this given part. So given ratio is what? 3 difference, and the given quantity is what? 291. I hope this part is clear. Yeah. given is 291. What is 291? Difference. So quantity given is 291. What will be its respective portion of ratio? Difference of ratio of B and A, that is 3. Okay. Now, what do we need to find? We need to find, question said find C, alright. So we need to find C. Now, what is the portion of C? Portion of C is 11 in this given ratios. And the quantity we need to find out. Now, just apply chain rule, cross multiplication. Alright, cross multiplication. So 291 multiplied by 11 divided by 3 will get you this question mark, right? Simplify. Okay, multiply 97 with 11. What will you get? 71067. That is the question mark, which is for quantity of C, or the as per the question, this will be income of C. Income of C as per the question. Okay. See, no assumption, no tam jam. We got the answer directly, right? So this is how you can solve the ratio question by using the chain rule. Given and what do you need to find out. Okay, I hope that's going good. I hope that's going good. I hope you're growing. I hope you are learning. See where we have started the ratio and now what we are discussing. Okay, the next question here. The ratio of three numbers 3, 6, 8. If their product is 9216, then what is the sum of these three numbers? Sum of these three numbers. So what is given to us is product, and we need to find what? Sum. Now in this case, I suggest to use assumption method. Okay, assuming method. Why? Because here if you do the product, this is little technical. I think you just go with the flow. I'll explain this again to you. Okay, first look at this assuming method. Portion method will not work because there is no total given here. Chain rule will not work because there is not direct relation of a ratio and the given quantity. This is product. If it is addition, subtraction, the chain rule will work faster. Product, then you use the assuming one. Okay, so you assume, let's say the three numbers are A, B and C. They are in ratio what? 3, 6, 8. With the common multiple assuming x, I can say the first number is 3x, second is 6x and the third is 8x. Okay. Now product. So for product you will say 3x multiplied by 6x multiplied by 8x equal to, as per the question, is 9216. Okay. Sorry. Keep in mind, what do we need to find out? Sum of all three. Okay. Let's simplify this. Let's simplify this. So, I'm not a big fan of doing the calculation. First, let us simplify. Let's say x, that is x cube. I'll take the remaining values to the other side. 9216 divided by 3, 6 and 8. Simplify this one by one. Let's simplify this. Let's cancel by 3. 3, 0, 7, 2. All right. Okay. Let's cancel by 8. 8 3 is 24. 64. Okay, right. Cancel by 6 here now. 64, correct. So after all the calculation you got 64. So x cube is 64. What should be x? X will be, find out the cube root. What is cube root of 64? 4. 4 cube is 64. Yes. So x, the common multiple, you got 4. Question said find the sum of all. All right. Sum will be 3x plus 6x plus 8x. That is equal to 9, 8, 17x. So the sum is what? 17 into 4. Correct. 17 into 4. What is 17 fours are? So what is 17 fours are? 17 fours are 68. Yes, that's the answer. Okay. So I hope you understood this, and now let's come back to the reason why we have not used chain rule here. I hope you can understand. The chain rule works in case of addition or subtraction. Like if there is a difference given between the portion of ratios, there is addition total sum given between the portion of ratios. But if it is multiplication, then don't use it, because you have this common multiple also multiplied. Okay, the bottom line is, when you have difference, you can use the chain rule 1. When you have addition, you can use the chain rule 1. But if it is multiplying, product of the numbers or the division of the numbers, I suggest to take the assuming method. Okay. So I think this is it in today's video. I don't want to take longer and make you confused on this. I hope you got good information. You understood 3 methods: assuming method, portion method, and chain rule. You also understood what is ratio. Ratio is simplified form of the combination of numbers where you compare one number with the other number, right? And for simplification, we use either division or multiplication. When you divide, we call it common factor. When you multiply by a common number, we call it common multiple. Okay, so this is it in today's video. I will see you in the next lecture of ratios. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy. Bye bye.